If you are thinking of moving to the island, Alameda, here are some pros and cons of living here. Lots of parks with sports fields, baseball fields, tennis courts. A lot of the schools have swim clubs, so lots of outdoor spaces. All right, pro, the beach, obviously. Here we are today, lots of people are out kiteboarding, just hanging out beside the beach. People are still working remotely. There's a trail that runs all along the side of the island. You can see Bay Farm from here, which is an extension of Alameda. That's next to the Oakland airport, but this is the beach side. There are tons of dog parks, separate for small dogs, large dogs. There are lots of parks with playgrounds. So one thing that's really cool about at least the waves here is that they're really low, so not great for surfing, but good for kayaking. And there's a spot a little bit further on the west end that's where you can see a lot of folks kayaking. We were just talking about how there's one pro is there's a high concentration of restaurants, bars, and other small businesses along the main thoroughfares in Alameda. There's a lot of diversity in the choice of cuisine. So we're in front of La Penca Azul, which has great brunch, great margaritas, right? Yeah, so behind us though, we have like boba tea, there's Thai, there's pho, Vietnamese on the other side, there's
Poke places.
Yeah, poke places. There's
Also lots of diners too, like old school American food.
Yeah.
Okay, this place is super old. It's been open since 1927 and it's like a classic diner, open super late. Great after like a couple of bars or like a hungover omelet on a Sunday morning.
Saying this too because like we were saying before, there are tons of pubs. Like I've already seen 3. There's a tavern, there's a pub, there are other breweries in Alameda on the west end.
The Linguini's is a great like classic Alameda staple. It's like a pizza and beer place. Definitely used to come here a lot after work because I worked in the Fruitvale area, so there's a lot of like crossover between people that work in Fruitvale coming into Alameda to like grab a drink or get dinner after work.
Another pro is all the breweries, distilleries, and wineries on the west end. Distilleries on this end, a lot of converted naval-based buildings. On this side tend to be a lot of like flea markets, maker fairs. There's Alameda Flea Market, the first Sunday of every month. Coming up this weekend, we're gonna take a look at that. Yeah, so one thing we were saying about Alameda that's a pro is that if you are a family, if you have a family with children, there are tons of places centered on entertaining children or focused on entertaining children. So this is even a place over here that says virtual party camps right now. I'm sure they have in-person party camps and activities. All right, another pro of living in Alameda is the highly ranked school system. The school district is in the top 20% of all school districts, public school districts in California. I'm standing in front of Alameda High School, which is ranked a 9 out of 10 on greatschools.org. There are 2 9 through 12 high schools and 2 other combination junior high schools that are highly ranked as well. Con of living in Alameda is the police are always ready to ticket you for going over 25 miles per hour. Another con that I've noticed about Alameda is that the drivers, because of previously mentioned facts, are very angry here. They are more aggressive.
Been really late. Okay.
Oh.
See, angry,
Honk, honk. See, angry drivers. Here's the other reason I think that is. Here's another con. 25 miles per hour is the speed limit all over the island. Understandably, as we were mentioning before, it's family oriented. There are a lot of children everywhere, high walk score, a lot of pedestrian crosswalks, so it's important, safety is important, but if you are someone who likes to drive faster than 25 miles per hour, you'll be frustrated by this too. Okay, so one con of living in Alameda is that there isn't access to BART. Commuting outside of Alameda or outside of Oakland can be a real hassle. If you're not taking the ferry to San Francisco, there just aren't as many options for getting outside of your car. There are only 4 drawbridges, and people complain that it seems like every time that you're in a rush, every time you're trying to leave the island, the drawbridges are up. So that can be a frustrating experience if you're living in Alameda.
Can't count on them.
You cannot count on them to have consistent schedules.
So there's really essentially, you should say this, there's essentially only real one way to get in and out of the island, which is through the tube.
Yeah, essentially if you're in a car, there's really only one way in and out of the island, and that's the tube or Fruitvale Avenue coming into Oakland. And generally if you're commuting to Oakland or the city, that's not the way you want to go. All right, another con of living in Alameda is along the main thoroughfares, it can be very difficult to find parking. Parking is relatively affordable, but on major event nights like Friday nights when they have some art fairs,
Really, anytime everyone on and off the island is going out to eat, parking can be pretty difficult.
we did mention that one pro is that Alameda, if you have kids, is very kid-centric. But if you're a single person, you might notice that the restaurants and bars and places that are more adult-centric close very early. So it's like the island shuts down past 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Even when we were eating at the Tika Lounge, the patio closed at 9 p.m. So if you're a single person looking for another single person, you might have to go over into Oakland or other cities in the East Bay or the city, San Francisco.
No painkillers after 9 p.m.